Hi everyone, let's talk about my favorite reads of 2020. So these books didn't all come out in 2020. It's just what I read in 2020 that I liked. I guess during the pandemic, I got really into Emma Donoghue. And so three of the books on here are by her. But the first one is Room, and it's about a young boy named Jack who has lived his entire life contained in a small room with his mother as they struggle to survive and eventually seek freedom from their captivity. Yes, this is about a woman who was taken and SA'd, held against her will. But the way this is told from Jack's point of view makes this book just outstanding. There is a movie. It's starring Brie Larson and Jacob Tremblay, and I thought it was a very, very good adaptation. So next I read Wonder, or The Wonder. It's about an English nurse named Lib who is sent to a small Irish village to observe a young girl claiming to survive without food. I guess Lib has been sent there by the church. It's been a while since I read it, so I don't remember all the details, but Lib becomes determined to disprove this so-called miracle because they're claiming it's a miracle. At first, she's trying to do this because she's skeptical, but later she feels inclined to save this young girl. It's about faith. It's about miracles. It's about human endurance. It's really, really good. There is a movie of this too, starring Florence Pugh, but I haven't seen it. If any of you have seen it, let me know if it was good and worth watching. And the last book I read by Emma Donoghue was Frog Music. This is a historical mystery about two real-life people. It's set in 1876 San Francisco. And I don't usually like historical fiction, but this one was pretty good. It's through the eyes and perspective of a burlesque dancer named Blanche Benon. I forget how to say her name. And through her eyes, we get the story of a famed trans performer named Jenny Bonnet and her unfortunate unaliving. So Blanche seeks justice and the truth behind the death amidst this backdrop of scandal and danger and disease. It was really fun. It was a good time. And it made me very invested in these people. And I actually did all this research about them after. Pretty cool. Next up was The Children's Crusade by Ann Packer. This is like a slow, quiet, character-driven literary fiction about family bonds. It's about four adult siblings kind of grappling with their identities and their unresolved childhood conflicts while navigating the lasting impact of their mother's absence and their father's whatever. But the personalities of the kids are just beautifully realized. I felt related to some of the characters in it. It was really, really good. Next, I read Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple, which I've talked about a lot. I'm sorry. This book follows 15-year-old Bee as she pieces together emails and documents and memories and things of her mother's to unravel the mysterious disappearance of her eccentric mother, Bernadette. This book is funny, it's clever, it's full of feels, and it's just a book all women should read, I think. There is a movie starring Cate Blanchett, but I have not heard great things about it, so if you've read it and you think it's worth watching, let me know. All right, apparently also during the pandemic, I wanted to be very depressed, and so I went through a Khaled Hosseini phase. And I read The Kite Runner, which is about Amir, a young boy from a wealthy Afghan family who witnesses a traumatic event involving his childhood best friend. And this friend is also the son of their family servant, and his name was Hassan. This book is about guilt, betrayal, navigating your troubled past and trauma, and finally, redemption and hope. It is such a gorgeous, amazing, perfect book. There is a movie of this one, and I remember thinking it was a very strong adaptation. I haven't seen it in a while, but I thought it was very good. Next, I read A Thousand Splendid Suns because I wasn't done being crushed. Miriam, an Afghan woman, is in a very bad marriage when after, of not her own choosing. And after many years of her marriage, her husband takes a second wife, a young girl named Layla. Miriam and Layla's bond is still to this day tattooed on my heart. There is apparently a TV show in the works for this, which, while it will be hard to watch, could be absolutely incredible. I read two thrillers that I thought were beyond your normal 3-star thriller. They were perfect thrillers, so I'll talk about those. And that would be Shutter Island by Dennis Lehane. It follows U.S. Marshal Teddy Daniels as he investigates the mysterious disappearance of a patient from a mental hospital on Shutter Island. And it's just about uncovering the shocking secrets of the institution and himself. The lines blurred between reality and insanity. And if you have somehow avoided till this point knowing what happens in this story, you should read it. I mean, you could read it anyway, even if you do know what happens. But if you do not know, read this because it's incredible. I've somehow still never watched the movie with Leo and Mark Ruffalo. But, the book has stayed with me. And finally, The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. This still stands out to me as one of the best thrillers I've ever read. Two strangers, Ted and Lily, meet on a flight, and they form a weird pact to unalive Ted's unfaithful wife which just sets off a twisted game of deception, betrayal, unaliving. It was just really well written. Everything kind of fit seamlessly together. I remember just like the reveals would come and I'd be like, yes, oh my God. This, in my opinion, is the perfect thriller. Apparently there is a movie in the works too. At one time, Amber Heard was attached, which, like, to be honest, she'd be kind of perfect for this, but that was back in 2017, so who knows. And that's all for 2020. Stay tuned for more years and more books. See you next time. Bye.